Welcome back to another adventure in baking with me, the Unseasoned Baker. Today, I'm going to try a recipe that I have made once before, sour cream chocolate cake. I made it a few weeks ago. I made it as a sheet cake though, and my sheet cake pan didn't get returned yet. So today I'm going to try it as round cake pans and see how this goes. The recipe definitely is for a sheet cake. What could go wrong? Anyway, it was delicious. So we'll see. I think worst thing might be that I have too much batter, in which case maybe I can make some muffins or some donuts or something like that. So we'll see. Anyway, it's sour cream chocolate cake with a chocolate frosting. So let's get started. Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention is that I've had a special request to put in some coffee into this. So that will also be an experiment today. That's one of the other things that makes this kind of an experiment recipe today. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to put in, and obviously the recipe will be in the description, but I'm going to put in a cup and a half. Is that right? Yep, 1.5 cups of sour cream. And I'm going to mix that with the eggs first. This is apparently a recipe that my mother-in-law used to make for my dear wife. And so she requested it recently for her birthday. Sam, this is not for you. This is a good recipe for like finishing up sour cream if you have some extra sour cream in the fridge. And then of course you run into the issue where I didn't have quite enough sour cream, so then I had to go buy another sour cream. That is an age-old dilemma, right? And then I'm going to put 2 eggs in here. Not going to be fancy. I'm just going to hope that I don't get any shells in there. But I had a shell. No, we're good. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this all together now. I'm going to beat this. Until it's all mixed together. All right, that's all nicely mixed. So now I'm going to add the all the dry ingredients, and so it's a cup and a cup and a third of sugar, which is a lot of sugar, but it's a chocolate cake. So, and then a cup and a half of flour. So let's go ahead and just mix this in here. And then we agreed on a half a teaspoon of this coffee mixture. This is Starbucks dark roast instant coffee. When we went camping last summer, this was a lifesaver for us. When the weather was bad or whatever, we were camping, we just wanted some instant coffee. This stuff's great, but it's pretty powerful. So I'm just putting half of a teaspoon in there. And get that all nice and mixed up here. Okay, so it's time to get the batter in the pans. They are greased. And I was going to try something that I saw one of my favorite bakers online do, which was to actually measure how much you're putting in each pan to make sure they're absolutely the same. But I realized I have this tiny little scale, and I guess I need to get a bigger one, because when I put it on, I can't read, and I can't set it. I can't do anything with that. So it's great for little dishes, but if you're looking to buy a digital scale, which I would do if I were you, if you don't have one, invest in a larger spaced one so that you can do things like put pans on it. That's just my word to the wise. Okay, So we're going to eyeball this. So this is really bubbly. So let's go ahead and start pouring that in there. I have no idea. These look pretty close. Okay. So I don't know. I've seen people do this too. What's that for? I see bubbles. So I heard one person say that gets the air out. There's bubbles. That's not getting any air out. All right, my oven is heated at 350. So I'm going to put this in for, I'm going to check it at 25 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes is the baking time. So I'm going to check it at 25 minutes, poke a toothpick or something in there, and see if that comes out clean. All right, so here they are, 25 minutes at 350 degrees. They look great. Looks like it was the right amount to do 2 cake pans. So I'm gonna let them cool now, hoping that they do flatten out a little bit, because I am going to be stacking one on top of the other. And meanwhile, I'm going to be putting together the chocolate frosting for this, which we just had a discussion about this frosting, and apparently it was a little too sweet last time. So here's another experiment. I'm going to be adjusting and putting a little bit less sugar in and cutting down some of the measurements. So we'll see how that goes. As soon as this is cooled, we'll get the frosting going and get that on there. Oh, look, I think I got a little chocolate in my hair. So the pans have been cooling for, I think, 10 minutes, and so far the cakes are not coming out. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I was a little panicked because the cakes weren't coming out of the pan. I did manage to get one out of the pan, and so I'm going to show you what I did with the second one, and we'll hope that it comes out as well. The recipe that I'm using said it was for a sheet cake, so it said nothing about how long to cool the cake in the pan before you take it out. You do a little internet search and you will get anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes that it should cool. And the most important thing to do is you've got to let it cool, but don't let it cool too much. So where is the place? So what I did with the other one, which looks lovely on its plate, it actually came out in one full piece. Fingers crossed the same happens with this one. I have this little rubber spatula thingy, and I went all around the edges, and I think one reason why I like this spatula thingy is because I can kind of go under it as I'm going around, and I am kind of loosening it off of there. And oh, this one's coming out much easier than the other one. So I'm going to go ahead. There we go. That's not bad. So I'm going to say that that cooled for about 20 minutes, and that came out of there pretty easily. I was trying to just tilt it, and it wasn't coming out, but this method, it seemed to come out. Okay, so these are going to cool a little bit more, and I'm going to get started on the frosting now. All right, final product. How about that? Doesn't that look good? This is such a great cake recipe. This is a keeper. This frosting is not too sweet, so I think that was a good idea to cut down the sugar. Now, whatever frosting you use, I am going to say this. Make this cake. You can make this, obviously, as either in 2 cake pans in a double layered cake, or you can make it in a sheet cake. Either way, this is delicious, and it was pretty easy. And compared to all the stuff that you will have in a cake mix that you get, I'm going to tell you, this is the second time that I have made cake from scratch. The first time was just a few weeks ago. I am never going to make cake mix again, I don't think. This was so easy, and it was so good. People are so impressed when you tell them that you made this from scratch. And you saw, it's really not that hard. So why not do it? It's much healthier, it's much better for you, and it's delicious. So definitely the cake is a keeper. I think the frosting needs a little bit of work yet, but it's not bad. So try it. The recipe's in the description, and let me know if you do try it, what you think. Thanks for watching.